morning. Good morning.
Boom.
What was that?
That's to get people's attention.
Oh.
And they go, whoa, what is that?
Knowledge bomb.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Whoa.
Whoa. We should do magic tricks.
Yoing.
We're going to talk about mastering your emotions. How was your weekend this morning? How was your weekend? What did you do? What did you see? Who did you love? Who did you touch, inspire, move?
What stuff did you do?
What happened? So this is important for me this morning because I don't know about you, but one time a month, it's hard to stay positive. I mean, actually, there's many times in a month that it's hard to stay positive, but there's one particular time where I feel kind of like roundhouse throat punch kicking people in the kidneys, randoms, people I know, strangers, it doesn't matter.
Only one time a month?
I mean, there's one time that's really intense, right?
Ah, okay, yeah.
And that one time lasts about a week to 2 weeks.
So this one time a month, I don't feel
so
like
it's
kicking.
50% of the month, okay, basically. Where I'm like, man, seriously, guys, I get really moody. I get really intense feelings. And what's crazy is that I actually had no other option, I feel like, because I used to get sucked in, right? Be a slave to those emotions. And during that time of the month, I would just be absolutely miserable. And I would just kind of like...
And make sure everyone else was too.
Do a warning, right? Fire a warning shot, like wear my Darth Vader shirt, right? The Dark Side 77. I would wear that shirt around the house to let Doug know. And sometimes I still do it as a joke. But it was bad. It was like, hey, just you need to accept it. This is the way that it is. And you don't have to relate to what I'm saying necessarily, but moodiness is a part of life for a lot of people. And if you have a particular challenge with your moods, today is just going to be a super great quick message for you to learn how to move past that and not be a slave to how you're feeling all the time. So just a quick introduction, and then Doug's going to teach a little bit because that's his main area of expertise. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm really glad you're here. We're Doug and Heidi McGurk, and this is Love and Success, the Art of Having It All. I work with smart, successful people to fix their relationship issues. Dysfunctional relationships is a part of that. And...
Yes, you do that very well. And I work with entrepreneurs, entrepreneurial-spirited people, and people who are on the path to mastering their emotions, their communication, so that they can break through to their next best level, whatever that may be. And
together, our mission and purpose is to equip other coaches, speakers, and trainers with the tools they need to get their message out there. You know, your message really is like your ministry. And if you have pain in your life and you've struggled, odds are you have that pain for a reason. You can turn your pain into purpose and make that your passion and spread that help to other people, right? Spread goodness like a virus.
Kind of our duty.
And help people around the world, right? Like a global kind of mission.
Well, yeah, it is our biggest responsibility, I believe, to at least leave the world the way it was, if not better. And to tear people down is not very helpful. To tear ourselves down is even worse, because then we're just sucking other people down. So this is a conversation about lifting yourself up, and how do you do that, right? Are you mastering your emotions, or are they mastering you? And for some of us who are work together with in the treatment world, Jerry Egan used to say, F your feelings before they F you, because the point is sometimes we get sucked into how we're feeling in that moment, and that will determine whether or not we take action or don't take action, what kinds of action we take or don't take, and the way we take those actions, right? And there's a saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And that is going to be directly related to how you're feeling in that moment.
I used to have very black and white thinking. In fact, a lot of people that I help have the same issue, right? It's all or nothing. It's black or white. I'm either my feelings are running me, or I'm a militant, beating my feelings and making them my bitch. You know what I mean? There's no middle ground. And so, but I needed a middle ground, because I do think your feelings are extremely valuable. I think they're a barometer. They're an internal guidance system that's telling you right, left, stay, go. It's always speaking to you. However, there is a mastery involved to knowing when it's your true feelings or when it's just these fleeting kind of emotions that are unwarranted and just kind of like human nature, right? Our nature is reflected in nature. You know, what is nature but a series of moods, right? What is it but
What
a
is
series
time?
of moods? What is time but a series of moods? Seasons, right? Life, nature is a series of moods. Fall, winter. In fact, even things growing in nature, there are flowers that really only bloom at night and die in the morning. And then they bloom at night and die in the morning. And that's like moods, right? Sometimes that feels like us. We're blooming at 2 o'clock and at 5 o'clock we're dead. You know what I mean? And so we can all relate to that. But here's the difference. You can let your feelings ride them out and they will pass no matter what. But for some of us, that, you know, that's not going to work because our feelings are really strong and we need to, because God gave us what he didn't give the flowers, which is free will. So we're able to manipulate our feelings, unlike that blooming flower, right? That blooming flower just has to stay there. So with God's grace, we're able to say, I don't like the way that I feel, and we can change it. And you teach 3 pillars to changing how you feel.
Yeah. Well, and I just want to dovetail to something you just shared. I'm going to piggyback.
Circle back.
Bring it all. Well, no, I'm not really. We haven't gone anywhere yet. Well, yeah, but
just piggyback.
There's a saying, you know, in the Bible, to whom much is given, much is expected, much is required. And that's the free will that we're given. We have choices. We have the choice of what we're going to make something mean. We have the choice of how we're going to feel in the moment. And, you know, Tony Robbins refers to it as the triad. I refer to it as behavioral trinity. In NLP, it's the human behavior model. And really, it's an understanding that there are 3 main components that generate our emotions. Right. And the first thing and the most fundamental is our physiology, is our body. It's that bottom line, because, you know, the truth is sometimes we don't feel good because we don't feel good. Right. So it's why it's so important that we sleep well, that we eat right, that we exercise, that we've got some control over our body, because, you know, very often people get into pain medication because they can't function because they're in so much pain. Our bodies affect how we feel drastically. And if we're not in control of our body, if we're not even noticing, and by the way, our feelings aren't ours. Like, we aren't our feelings. They just something that happened. They're,
flows in us, through us.
Right. So it's not like we are. So when people say, you know, I am depressed, or I am pissed off, or I am, well, that's not
Depression
really
is something you feel.
Yeah. Are you being squished? Is that what's happening? You're being depressed? Someone's squishing you down? You're pissed off, and are you urinating right now? Like, so.
Well, I think that the body is going. I mean, I have chronic pain, so that's doubly important for me to, you know, having, whether you believe in it or not, it's very real to me. This like fibromyalgia, this constant aching throughout my body, and kyphosis of my spine, so my head, like I have to work really hard to, you know, and degenerative hip disease in my hip. I mean, guys, I'm a hot mess. And so for me, it's really important because that pain can affect my mood. If I wake up in the morning and open my eyes and my body hurts and it's aching, it's like already, oh, my body's going to set the tone. My body's going to tell me how I get to feel today. And that's in a codependent relationship with my hip. You know what I mean? And I'm more powerful.
Or that time of the month.
I'm more powerful than my period. I'm more powerful than my hip. I'm more powerful than my neck. I'm more powerful than anything that I decide. And so for me, that physiology is really key. Because now it's like it's really important. Like Doug will teach it and I'll bring it home, because he's a steady Eddie. He has a lot of emotions, but I'm a basket case. I'm all over the place sometimes, right? Especially during that time of the month, just emotionally. And I use that term lovingly, right? But I have access to a lot of emotions. I'm a highly sensitive person. So it's really important for me to incorporate what he's teaching. So I dance. Dance is a great modality for me. I'll put my headphones on in the morning and come down here and just move my body around. And it doesn't have to be like, I'm not hip hopping if I feel like that, but I'm just asking my body, tuning into that divine intuition and asking my body, how does it need to move in order to feel better? What would it like to do? Right? And so it's like a divine respect of my body, not like commanding it, move, you know, get up, feel better, but it's like, let's work together. Right.
Well, and sometimes you do have to call upon it. Sometimes you do just have to get up and do stuff. And it's about that flexibility and that knowing what is going to get you up and rolling. And if you notice sports players, like, what do? They warm up, right? It's more than just getting your body warm. It's getting your head warm. So first thing is just notice your body, notice what's going on. And like what Heidi shared, with just even your posture. Are you, are you shuffling? Are you heads down, shoulders down? Are you breathing, right? Or are you standing tall? Are you holding yourself in a certain way that's congruent with the emotion that you choose to feel? And that's why the program I have is called Strategic Emotional Mastery, because it's really about understanding the choices of emotions and of choosing appropriately. The next thing is what you focus on, right? What are the images that you're creating in your mind? Are you creating pictures of things going poorly, or are you creating pictures of things going well? When we tell that, when we experience those visions of possibility or probability, we're naturally going to be heading in that direction. So if you use an example I used in Under Construction, is when you're driving your car and you're looking for an address, you're looking to the right side of the road to find the number of the place that you're looking for, where does the car naturally go? And the answer is, of course, it veers to that side. Now, if you do not recorrect, if you don't course correct, you could just go off the road. You could hit a parked car or the sidewalk or what have you. Now, we understand this as we're driving as a normal person. We go, oh, of course, I got to straighten it out. I've got to keep it moving forward. But we don't necessarily do that in our lives when we're starting to feel a certain way and it's taking us down a path that we don't want to go. If it's taking us down a path of frustration, why? Because I'm picturing something pissing me off. Right, and I'm making that picture even bigger and brighter, and I'm adding stuff. I mean, that's the other thing we do is we'll remember things a little differently than the way they happen, because the way, maybe the emotion we were in or the emotion that it may have created for us or the meaning we gave it made that picture even bigger, even brighter of that experience, and we added stuff that was congruent to make us feel even more upset, even more angry. Or if we go, that was the best experience, and we'll actually add cool stuff, and we'll go, oh, that was even better than it was. And this is the decision that we make as we're realizing what are we focusing on. I don't know if you want to touch on that.
Well, yeah, because every morning that's a conscious choice for me, and it's about gratitude. And so I'm about the path of least resistance. I want to do things the easy way. I like to get quick results. And so for me, the best thing to do is pop in an affirmation in the morning. Mm-hmm. So it tells my focus where to go. I don't even have to think about it. I can move. It's a morning ritual, a morning routine that sets the tone for the entire day. So whatever that download is, whatever I happen to be listening to about abundance, or some of this, if it's Og Mandino, or if it's, just music that's inspiring, or whatever that it is, that makes me, that says to my mind, commands my mind, this is what we're going to think about this morning. Because anxiety can pull you, right? And what happens is the anxiety will take over as soon as you open your eyes. Who do I have to talk to today? How much money am I earning? What's going on with the kids today? How do I need to manage all this? And
that's a recipe for stress right there.
And as soon as you wake up, it's like your anxiety is calling the shots of how this is going to go down. And so you have to kind of be a ninja, be a little Jedi, and get in there and teach it and show it what you're going to choose to focus on. And gratitude is the best antidote for that. Even just sitting in silence for a few minutes in the morning and just asking yourself, and I know this isn't something that we haven't heard before, right? Oh, Heidi, that's cute, a gratitude. Oh, that's a new concept. Oh my God, mind blown. Are you doing it? Because I know this for sure. The greatest gap in life is between knowing and doing. And until we're doing it, we don't know it. And so we can pretend we know things all day long, but if we're not walking that talk, we don't know. All right? No offense. I'm saying this to myself, okay? Because I think that we are a nation of like, I know that. Oh, I know that. Yeah, okay. But we're not doing it, right? We're not living it. And if you're not living it, you don't know it.
And there's a little hack that can help you if you're looking for, if this resonates with you, like, yes, I understand, I got to experience gratitude, but when I look around, man, I can't be grateful because of whatever experience that you think you're in, that you're
can't
feeling.
Find the gratitude
can't find
in
it. Right. So here's a hack that you could try. If I could feel grateful, what could I feel grateful for? Mm-hmm. Like if I wanted to feel grateful right now, what could I be grateful for? And what that does is it starts to take the finality out of it, and it gives you adds like a little bit of hope. Like, well, if I could be grateful, I could be grateful that I'm able to breathe. I could be grateful that I'm able to see. I could be grateful that I'm able to hear. I could be grateful that I have the opportunity to ask whether or not I'm grateful for something. And oftentimes we get so locked into what we think gratitude is supposed to look like, or that we can only be grateful for these giant things. And this is where the little things make the biggest difference. When you can be grateful for the little things, then you could start being grateful for the big things. The challenge is oftentimes we're waiting to win lotto instead of being grateful for the opportunity to appreciate where we are right now.
Well, yeah, I love this thing yesterday when we were in this new church that we went to yesterday that was talking about how, he didn't really say it this way, but what I gleaned from it is like, you're in the present moment or the promised land. And we're all kind of like, be grateful for that, the day when it comes, like the promised land, working really hard for that. But all you have is the present moment. So the gratitude's now.
And what's crazy is, we need to go down the,
no, we got
theology right now. But the other thing is that really what Christ spoke about was being heaven on earth, experiencing it now, not having to wait. It was just a continuation of something even greater. Mm-hmm. And then the last piece is your language, right? Your internal and external dialogue. And what your language ends up doing, it directs your focus through the questions that we ask. And, very often we are habitually asking questions. Well, not very often. We're always habitually asking questions. Very often they're not very good questions. They don't get great answers. Like,
what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
That's the one my clients ask a lot.
Yeah, what's wrong with me? Or, not even getting into primary questions, just getting into like, what crap do I have going on today? Or, what do I have to do? What new hell do I have in store for me today?
Who's gonna be an asshole to me today?
Right, yeah. And through those series of questions, right? So let's say you wake up one day and you're like, what new hell do you have in store for me today, God? And then you get out and you stub your toe and you go, see, my day's already doomed. And now you just start going down this path because you've primed it with the language or the declarations that you're making. So it's so funny. Like
even like the less obvious things, like the more covert kind of language that we use, like the struggle is real. Okay, if you say so, yeah. Right? Or this is going to be hard, or I've got my work cut out for me today, or, so.
Well, there's that saying, I think, therefore I am. Your thoughts are those language, those words. Your thoughts are those focuses. So I think crap, therefore I am crap. I experience crap. I think problems, therefore I am problems. I experience problems. It actually pulls us to whatever it is that we're thinking about, right? So it was whatever you think about, you bring about. And if you're, what was that? That was, who said that? It was in The Secret, I think. But it's true, because when we think about problems, we get problems. It's actually in our brain, the reticular activator system, right? Where I'm sure you've had this, where you've purchased a new car or a bag or a hat or a belt or shoes or something that at the time you're like, man, this is badass. Nobody's got this. I'm like the cool kid with the cool stuff. And then you drive off the lot and they're everywhere. You walk out of the store and they're everywhere. And there aren't more of them. They're just, you're noticing them now. It's that focus now pulling you towards it. So the more you focus on love, joy, gratitude, excitement, passion, adventure, freedom, the more you experience that. The more you focus on problems, stress, anxiety, challenges, the more you ask questions about what's wrong here, what's wrong with me, what's the problem here, what's going to suck today, the more you experience that. And I was just going to touch on something that Ellie will do sometimes. She'll say, she'll go, I'm thirsty. And I'm like, all right, well, it's just, you're just declaring a state right now that you're going to experience more of. What do you want?
And she's like, my dad's, no, I'm just kidding. A water, Einstein.
Yeah. Okay. No. Well, how do I know, right? When she goes, I'm thirsty, and then I bring her buttermilk. Like,
You're like, geez, Dad. Okay.
But
yeah, no, right.
But we have to notice those habits. Like, how are we even expressing our needs? Are we expressing the needs because of the lack, or are we expressing our needs because of what we want? Just saying I'm thirsty is like saying I'm broke.
So you guys, I think there's like kindergarten and then mastery or grad school. And so these concepts are not new concepts, right? We've been hearing about this for the beginning of time. Your thoughts create reality. But there's always an up leveling here, right? There's this basic understanding of just knowing if you're having a lot of negative thoughts, right? And you're attracting that negative thought. But then moving up to like a mastery or a graduate level where you can get the covert kind of language that's really keeping you stuck, right? Like, this is hard, or I have to struggle, or what do I need to overcome today, or whatever it is that we're constantly kind of like setting ourselves up to swim upstream and not even realizing it.
And then what also happens is we end up attracting more people like that. So if we're waking up and going, the struggle is real, man, we're going to find other people who go, yeah, it is, me too. And then we start connecting over struggle.
There's another one that's covert too. When I was at the gym and I was like, all these people were being really, shit up my Zumba class, and there's a bunch of women in there. I talked about it before. They were like all being really negative this day. It wasn't my normal class. And they're like, oh, my hip hurts, and oh, my husband's fat. He should be here. And they're like going off, and I'm thinking, and I'm listening. I'm like, oh my God, they're so negative. And I'm like, thank God I'm so much better and evolved. You know, my way of thinking in that moment was like equally as damning, equally as bad, that, oh God, thank God I'm not that negative. Well, I'm already being negative. Number one, lying to myself, number one. Okay. Yeah. And number two, gratitude and humility. Even if I do feel like I've kind of reached a point beyond that, but I'm not having any gratitude in it. So there's these things like not that we always have to find something wrong with us, but we're evolving creatures. We're meant to evolve. Everything is cocooning and expanding and evolving and moving forward. And life is a systematic series of evolvements, right? Of evolving. And so to think, I remember one time I looked at you, we were in a seminar when I was going through a particular resistant phase of my own personal development, right? And I looked over at you, we were sitting there, and I was like, just out of curiosity, like, when do you get to be okay? Like, when are you done with this shit? You know what I mean? But the presupposition there is that you're not okay because you're evolving and honing your skills and working towards becoming more. You know, I teach self-acceptance, self-love, radical self-esteem, radical self-acceptance. But part of that is evolving into the most true, best version of you and eradicating all that stuff that's just not you, that doesn't serve you, that weighs you down.
Well, and that's the thing. And
your emotions might be doing that. Well, if you're a slave to those.
They definitely are, because it's a practice, right? It's a discipline. It's an understanding. It's an awareness. And the thing is that once you think you're like, it's a difference between not okay with where you're at and wanting to grow more and to change more than being pissed off, upset, sucking you out of the game, right? It's okay to go, I'm a little dissatisfied with a certain area of my life. Like, I want to, lose a few pounds. I want to grow my business. I want to improve my relationship. But it's not about beating yourself up in that moment. It's just a question of being aware, like, okay, here's where I'm at, and I'm okay with where I'm at because it's normal, it's natural, and I'm deciding to make a change, to transform, to move forward, and that's the difference.
Grateful for you both. Hey, see you tonight, David. Yes, for sure. Also, if you've been told your whole life you're stupid, you believe it. So, Amy, yes. Let's see what else she said up here. Mindset sets the tone. It does. Laura said she's halfway through your book, and it's excellent. Justin said he lives day by day. Jerry Egan's, he loves that. So here's the thing, Amy. This teaching that I do in particular isn't for people that had a good time in life, right? It's not for people that had loving parents that supported them and encouraged them and really taught them the best things in life. These are for people who had some serious, my teaching in particular calls to the heart of the people who need to be the mother they never had, who need to be the father they always longed for. It's this specific type of person who did not get told that they were worthy. In fact, they didn't, the best that could have happened is they got ignored, right? But that's not what happened, right? What happened is they got beat into them. You're stupid, you're lazy, you're dumb, you're ugly, you'll never amount to anything. And so this is the conditioning. And I'm here to tell you, I don't care how long that went on. I don't care how many people you loved and wanted in your life to say different things about you, and you prayed to God that they changed their mind about you, and they never did. I'm going to tell you something. You can change that internal dialogue. You can. I get choked up about it because I'm so passionate about it. I believe, though, if you're waiting for somebody else to come alongside of you and be the one that whispers in your ear your worthiness, you're going to be waiting forever. It has to come from within, from that real identity, realizing and witnessing who you truly are, your true value. And that's going to require some efforting, some work to get underneath the hood. Amy, I'm just going to encourage you to take the deeper dive. Anybody who is asking themselves these questions and knowing that their lack of self-love or worthiness is holding them back from being in the relationships they desire to deserve. They're settling for less than they know that they want. They're stuck. Their hands are tied. They feel trapped. Now's the time. If you don't make that leap and put the effort and financial commitment behind you and your involvement, likely you'll stay stuck like this forever, because it's going to require some energetic commitment on your part. We want other people to commit to us. Well, you bring me alongside of you, but you have to make that commitment to yourself. And a lot of the times it does include making that leap to hire somebody, overcoming your financial situation and thinking, I can't make that investment. But I'm telling you something, the minute that you put forth that commitment into yourself, the heavens open up, because you're making a declaration to the world that you're worth it. Even if you don't believe it, you're taking a leap of faith and you're getting started. I just want to encourage you. It's the most important decision that you can make, is that you deserve it. All right? Oh, man, I'm sorry. I get fired up, you guys, because I believe in it. There's no other more important. There's a number one factor in your ability to make your dreams happen in life, and it's your self-esteem. It's not your rearing. It's not your, money. It's not your age. It's your esteem. It's how much you love yourself that determines the gasoline to your greatness. Like we say, the diesel to your destiny, right? It's that. Woo, Lord have mercy today.
All right. Let's end on a high note.
Sorry about that. Hey, look, it's just, it comes out. I can't help it.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Tim.
All right, so we love you for who you are and who you aren't.
Let that fire simmer in your belly.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right. See you tomorrow.